Now, for our next segment, we'll be talking about our latest project, which is the Champions in Conservation Learning Network. We will be introducing the program with the help of some of our participants and our coaches in the program. Now, I'll leave you with Javier Medina for a proper introduction to the Champions in Conservation Learning Network. Whenever you're ready, Javier.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Like Sarah well mentioned, my name is Javier Medina Sanchez, and I will be giving a brief description of Champions in Conservation Learning Network. So first, I'll give a brief short bio of mine. I'm currently studying my master's degree at The Ohio State University. I'm studying international agricultural development at the Department of Agriculture, Communication, Education, and Leadership. Previously to this, I did my bachelor's degree at the University of Puerto Rico Maya West campus, where I studied general agricultural science with a minor in natural resource conservation. And I was part of the first internship that NOLA Consulting hosted. I worked at Louisiana State alongside the NRCS professionals, helping farmers help the land. And as well, I was part of the recent Champions in Conservation Learning Network internship. Also, I'm a farmer in the town of Yabucoa, Puerto Rico, where I raise cattle and minor crops for family consumption. So I consider myself to be a leader. And as a leader, one of the most important questions you will ever ask yourself is, what do you want to leave behind? What legacy? And well, as an agricultural educator, a young Hispanic farmer, and a leader, I need to influence others and focus on reaching long-term outcomes that build agricultural success around the concept of passing it forward. Mentoring and coaching others to become masters in conservation and natural resources is leaving a legacy system. During the 2020 summer internship and fall months, I participated in Champions in Conservation Learning Network. That was a learning program to build a cadre of masters and mentors that become the multiplier promoters of agricultural conservation. Building a force of Hispanic farmers and young bilingual professional experts is the most direct, successful, and international method to increase conservation while investing directly in customer development and farm leaders. In our experience, 14 talented students and as my colleagues and a process of self-development, identifying our learning processes. Documentation of personal and professional development where we work around missions, visions, and values as a guide to satisfying our future. And establishing relationship with a coach and experienced mentors, as well as implementing actions or practices to complete conservation projects. The Champions in Conservation Learning Network covered around 40 hours of training, where we focus on technical knowledge and conservation agriculture, leadership development, agricultural entrepreneurship, and young professional development. Personally, I find a really importance in what this internship, what we learned from this internship, since a learning network is really important to fully understand what is happening currently in the world and in the field that we were focused on, that was agriculture and conservation within this field. Also, the opportunity to work alongside a cadre of professionals that were from the same field also gave us a lot of benefits, since we learned from each other and we were able to solve problems and tasks more efficiently rather than doing it as an individual. And also, I saw and we experienced the need to replicate this effort, since it's really beneficial to everyone to work and collaborate as teams in order to achieve common goals in the future. And well, now I will leave you with the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Javier, for that wonderful introduction. So happy to see you again. And now we'll be introducing one of our first modules. This is titled Young Future Conservationist Professionals. We'll be showing two videos, the first one being a preview of the module. Hi, everyone. My name is Sara Espinosa.
My name is René Rivera.
And my name is Pedro Ayala.
And we're your coaches for the Young Future Conservationist Professionals module. The Young Future Conservationist Professionals module is inspired on the phrase, "I wish I knew then what I know now." It has the purpose to help guide young professionals towards different paths in agriculture, these being concentrated in conservation, entrepreneurship, and leadership aspects. Our purpose is to provide them with the resources needed to make the best career path for them possible. Now we'll give you a preview of our first lecture, which is titled On the Road to Success, whose sections focus on developing careers in the federal government.
The USDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, is also known as the USDA, is a United States federal executive department. It's made up by 29 different agencies and offices. The USDA is responsible for overseeing farming, ranching, and forestry, as well regulating the food quality, safety, and nutrition labeling. It also tasked with administering several social welfare programs, including the free lunches in school, the SNAP, and the WIC benefit. The purpose of the USDA is to develop and execute policy on farming, agriculture, and food production. They provide leadership on subjects such as natural resources, rural development, and nutrition. Their vision is to provide economic opportunity, promote agricultural production, and preserve the nation's natural resources through conservation practice, forest restoration, improvement of watershed, and the maintenance of healthy private working lands. In this model, we focus on top 3 agencies that are NRCS, APHIS, and FSAA. Now, I'll leave you with my partner, Pedro Ayala.
Thanks, Rene. The U.S. Department of Agriculture offers different pathway opportunities for students that are recently graduated or students that are currently enrolled to work in agriculture, science, technology, math, environmental, and many other fields. This is a great way for students to actually get a wide variety of work experience while still either in school or in their postgraduate. In our modules, we talk about 2 main programs that this program offers. One of them is being the internship program, and the other one, the recent graduate program. Each of them have their own requirements and prerequisites to actually be part of this program. Now I leave you with Sarah with a quick module overview.
Thank you, Pedro. Now, our quick module overview, we're going to talk about the sections that we just touched on. The first section was the USDA, and the second was the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Pathways Program. These are the first 2 sections on our first lecture, again titled On the Road to Success. We have a second lecture available, which is called The Trail to Conservation, and it touches on themes of natural resource conservation. Thank you so much for your attention, and we hope to see you soon. Now to introduce Melanie Martinez, who will be sharing her experience with the module and with the program, again through a short video.
Hi, my name is Melanie Martinez Arocho. I'm from Toa Baja, Puerto Rico, and I am an agricultural education student from the University of Puerto Rico in Mayagüez. I've had the opportunity of doing 2 internships with NOLA Consulting, and both have been enriching learning experiences. Our most recent internship experience included a series of educational modules that centered around subjects like conservation practices, leadership, business management, job opportunities with the USDA, and other useful subjects. The one I benefited from the most addressed natural resource concerns, and additionally offered information about conservation practices as a solution to those concerns, and all of this in an agroecological perspective. In my first internship experience with NOLA Consulting and NRCS, I was able to see firsthand a lot of the conservation practices that were discussed in the module I just mentioned. It was something I was interested in beforehand, but I was unfamiliar with specific practices. Even after I learned so many things in my first experience, there was still room for learning. So in this internship, I built upon that foundation of conservation that I had. I learned about wildlife protection, invasive and dangerous plants, And forest fire management, I previously had no knowledge about forest fire management, and that is vital information to know, not just as an agronomist, but as a person who lives in a place that gets really hot, to say the least. Forest fires in Puerto Rico occur for the most part in the southern part of the archipelago. Since I'm from the north, it's not as hot, and I was totally unaware of the preventive measures that apply to these areas. I feel like I've been taught life-saving information, and I will pass it forward. And speaking of passing it forward, the project that I developed alongside my partners, Gabriela Velez and Alejandra Gonzalez Lopez, is all about passing knowledge forward. It's educational workshops that provide an education that is not limited to money, literacy, having a high school diploma, because these should not be barriers to producing more efficiently and to be in tune with the environment. These internships are not limited to teaching us about conservation and agriculture. They have also inspired skills that would have otherwise taken more time to develop. And it really got us going. It helped us address who we are and who we want to be, so we can work on being the best versions of ourselves in order to help the most people that we can. They have made a point in communicating that if we share our knowledge and our skills to help others, we can make things better in our corner of the world. It's a sentiment that I share and will continue to be my motivation in everything I do. Thank you.
Now we'll move on to our second module, which is titled Entrepreneurship in Agriculture. This will be presented by Josecarlos Rivera through a short video. This module was created by Adrian Parrott, one of our coaches for the Champions program. I'll now leave you with the video.
Good evening, my name is Josecarlos Rivera Villalobos. Today I'll be guiding you over our business arts and entrepreneurship model created by John Adrian Parrott, working under NOLA consulting firm. Entrepreneurship can have many faces. With this model, we wanted to embrace those virtues and to visualize and manifest a business orientated towards agriculture. We need to be clear that we wish to create profit out of this one, and by the process we will be developing facilities and create proper employment not only for ourselves but for others. We also fulfill necessities and demand among the agricultural sector with entrepreneurship. We develop new products, brands, and new processes, and bring new employment and areas to perform, in effect, to agricultural production. This model was divided in two parts. Firstly, business arts, where we observe the individual potential, abilities, and interests for developing this ideal operation. We have to say that here, workers, operation leaders, and clients share certain appeals. In this section, we went over what a mission statement, vision statement, and our operation values are, and the importance of having these ones clear at the moment to starting developing a business. On the other side, we had business sciences, where we wish to show platforms and abilities for a proper accounting, where using the right tools can be the difference at the moment to create a business strategy. We went over what record keeping is and it's important, cash flow and balance, and how this affect our further steps. Here we see two images. In the first one, we notice a business operation, an agricultural operation, where where we notice the entrepreneurship, we need to say that this whole idea needs to be passed on a process so it can be applied in the land. We also notice there's a collective that will be sharing this operation, and that all the products do in this operation will end in the hands of clients all over the place. We noticed that for a proper operation, we need to maintain our accounting correctly. This can be the difference at a better remuneration of this operation, and having the proper tools for this will help us out. For my project, that went over what coffee culture is and how can conservation adds value to the final product. We noticed that this is a continuous growing sector where demand is always growing, and there's a high competition among this one with the same product, where quality differentiation can be the best option for many agricultures. With this, a different branding will emerge. We also noticed that in the land we have more jobs and less workers. So how can we bring education to these workers so we can form better leaders and professionals? And having this knowledge accessible can attract people to develop under the coffee industry. In Puerto Rico, our coffee industry is also growing. We have a bunch of people that are being developed in this one, including low classes, young students, and the sector of low resources. And we wish to see how this project of taking education towards these circles can affect our culture and our people. Being this said, I hope you guys find this presentation helpful. It's had been a whole pleasure for me. Thank you, and hope to find you all well.
Okay. Now we'll move on to our third module, which is titled Natural Resource Conservation. For this one, I'll leave you with my partner, Jose Sanchez. And along with his introduction, we're going to hear some of our participants' point of view. And these are Daniel Gonzalez, Luis Prats, and Ricardo Lanzó. Whenever you're ready, India.
Buenas tardes a todos los presentes y gracias por estar con nosotros en este simposio de conservación de Nolo Consulting. Nosotros estamos bien contentos de que el grupo de campeones, el grupo de estudiantes de internado que estuvo con nosotros en este módulo de conservación hizo un trabajo extraordinario. Este módulo, pues básicamente le ayudó a los participantes a, en primer lugar, a entender, ¿verdad?, varios aspectos de la madre naturaleza. En adición a eso, pues también pudieron hacer ejercicios de campo para poder detectar ciertas cosas, ¿verdad?, que suceden en la finca. Y una vez pudieron entender cómo es que la naturaleza ha estado interaccionando con ellos en ese espacio, pues le hablamos acerca de cuál es la decisión que tienen que tomar para poder escoger el camino hacia la conservación. Luego los estudiantes pasaron, o sea, los participantes pasaron a entender y poder identificar qué está mal con los recursos, lo que conocemos en la agencia como resource concerns o preocupaciones en cuanto a los recursos. Y pudimos ayudarlos a poder confeccionar lo que es un plan de conservación, cuáles son los pasos que conlleva ese plan de conservación y poder dar las recomendaciones necesarias para establecer un buen plan de conservación. Al final, pues pudieron entender, ¿verdad?, la funcionalidad que tienen ciertas herramientas, tales como lo que es el Conservation Practice Physical Effects, o ¿verdad?, lo que es el Matrix, para poder entender qué práctica de conservación va acorde con la preocupación de recursos que tienen. Y finalmente pudieron también aprender a cómo utilizar la herramienta de la guía de campo para poder entender cómo establecer las prácticas de conservación. Por último, los participantes tuvieron la oportunidad de poder aprender cuál es el proceso para poder solicitar ser un proveedor de la agencia a través del programa de Technical Service Provider. Y pudieron entender cuáles son los pasos necesarios y cuál es la importancia de, en vez de convertirse en un jugador pasivo en este tema de la conversación, de lo que es la conservación, pudieron entonces pasar ya a lo que es un plano, a entender que puedan tener un plano más activo y convertirse en un proveedor de la agencia a través del programa de Technical Service Provider. Nosotros tenemos unos videos que vamos a presentar ahora de varios de los participantes que estuvieron con nosotros, y podrán escuchar cuál ha sido o cuál fue la experiencia de ellos en el programa y en el módulo de conservación como tal. Así que, Sara, por favor, cuando puedan pongan el video. Los dejo entonces con el video de Daniel González, Ricardo Lanzó y Luis Prats.
Hola, mi nombre es Daniel y soy estudiante de Agricultura de la Universidad de Puerto Rico. Estoy en mi 5º año de estudio, terminé con mi bachillerato y actualmente estoy continuando con mi estudio de graduado. Y pues en el año anterior tuve la oportunidad de participar en el internado de Nolo Consulting, y recientemente pues pude participar en su módulo de Champions in Conservation y Leadership. Y pues esto me parecieron una experiencia muy buena porque funcionaron como una plataforma de comunicación bien amigable, donde todos los integrantes pudieron compartir ideas y sugerencias sobre la conservación y métodos de emplear esta. Y pues en el primer módulo de Understanding Mother Nature, pues me pareció súper bien porque se discutieron fundamentos básicos y esenciales y se recalcaron que a veces tal vez en otras discusiones de conservación pues no se traen tanto ni se hacen tanto énfasis en estos fundamentos. Y pues me pareció también súper interesante porque esta dinámica permitió que cada uno de nosotros pues expusiera pues problemáticas, preocupaciones relacionadas a recursos, y pues a la misma vez pues pudimos luego dar sugerencias, alternativas, soluciones, y más allá poder abarcar en estos conceptos básicos de la conservación y pues básicamente adentrarse en ellos. Y pues también como mencioné, pues se discutieron fundamentos de conservación, y pues incluso se llevaron a cabo varios ejercicios, y entre ellos hubo un field exercise donde el énfasis era identificar los recursos que tenemos presentes cada uno de nosotros en nuestras localidades, identificar qué preocupaciones tenemos nosotros en nuestra situación particular, y pues eso nos dirige hacia una mejor dirección en cuanto a la conservación de nuestro propio medio ambiente. Entre las experiencias más agradables que tuve durante estos módulos, pues fue poder ver cómo mis compañeros se desempeñaron en su proyecto final de conservación. Esto me pareció muy curioso porque cada uno de nosotros trabajamos con una situación diferente. Todos teníamos dificultades diferentes, todos teníamos diferentes condiciones, todos teníamos diferentes personas y problemas con los que debíamos de trabajar. Y hasta incluso algunos de mis compañeros pudieron trabajar directamente con agricultores y proveerles alternativas y poner de su parte en su programa de producción agrícola, prácticas de conservación, y esto me estuvo súper fenomenal. Esto me gustó mucho porque a través de Champions in Conservation pues pude observar distintos sectores agrícolas dentro de Puerto Rico que son bien diversos y pues por ejemplo cada uno se compone de un nicho distinto en una región distinta. Y pues para esto para mí es súper enriquecedor por la gran diversidad que tenemos y pues comúnmente no se aprecia tan fácil. Por ejemplo, acá en la región donde yo siempre estoy, pues es una región más en la costa y pues se siembran muchos frutales como piña y mango. Y pues en otras regiones donde trabajaron mis compañeros, pues son regiones más hacia el centro de la isla y pues se ve más café, cacao y algo de aguacate. Y pues esto me parece súper bien porque Champions in Conservation pues me proveyó esta oportunidad.
Saludos, mi nombre es Luis Antonio Prats, soy agrónomo graduado de la Universidad de Puerto Rico en Mayagüez. Para mí es un placer compartir con ustedes en el día de hoy. Agradezco a Norega Consulting por la oportunidad que me brinda. Espero que la información compartida en el día de hoy sea de provecho para todos ustedes. Les hablo un poco de mí. En el 2018 tuve la oportunidad de participar en mi primer internado en el estado de Luciano, trabajando para el Servicio de Conservación de Recursos Naturales. Posterior a eso, trabajé para la misma oficina en el municipio de Mayagüez, acá en Puerto Rico. Tan reciente como este año, participé de mi segundo internado, esta vez de manera virtual, pero poniendo en práctica todo lo aprendido en los módulos en la finca de Miguel, de Ricura Caribeña, quien también forma parte de este simposio. Durante el día de hoy voy a estar hablándoles de algunas herramientas importantes que NRCS nos brinda a todos los conservacionistas. Como saben, el Servicio de Conservación de Recursos Naturales brinda asistencia técnica gratuita a todos los agricultores en Estados Unidos y en Puerto Rico. Mucha de esta asistencia está disponible de forma presencial, visitando las oficinas, como de manera virtual a través de las páginas de internet. Todos nosotros somos conservacionistas. Nos preocupamos por proteger nuestros recursos naturales y sabemos que estos no son infinitos. Nuestro deseo es hacerlos disponibles a generaciones futuras, para que tengan las mismas oportunidades que nosotros. Por tanto, al notar que un recurso se encuentra en riesgo, es importante que iniciemos un proceso estructurado y cuidadoso basado en observaciones, identificación de datos, oportunidades. Así, de esta manera, podemos identificar cuál debe ser la práctica de conservación adecuada a implementar. Para ayudar a esto, el Servicio de Conservación de Recursos Naturales cuenta con documentos como el CPPE, que sirve como guía en la aplicación de prácticas. Este indica cómo éstas afectan los recursos como el suelo, las plantas, el agua, el aire e inclusive nosotros los humanos. Otra referencia técnica es la guía de campo. La misma especifica estándares y especificaciones de prácticas de conservación, ayudando a que se realicen de manera correcta y completa, sin causar otros daños a recursos. Ambas guías fueron utilizadas durante el internado en la finca Ricura Caribeña. En la misma fueron identificadas varias prácticas de conservación, tales como la rotación de cultivos, barreras vegetativas y culminar una verja. Las experiencias han sido gratificantes y la sensación de ayudar a otros es indescriptible. Les exhorto a todos a continuar trabajando por nuestros recursos naturales y recalco la importancia de pasar este mensaje a futuras generaciones para poder seguir disfrutando de lo bonito que es nuestro mundo. Continúen disfrutando del simposio. Que pasen buen día.
Hi everyone, my name is Ricardo Lanzó. I'm an agronomy recent graduate, a Hispanic farmer outreach specialist at NOLO, and I'm here to give you my take on the Advanced Conservation Knowledge module and the TSP program module. The Advanced Conservation Knowledge module gave us various tips, as in how to keep an eye for noxious plants or that could affect our cattle, our employees, or simply invasive plants that could affect our conservation plans in a negative way. Another helpful and technical tools that we were given was the CPPE, which stands for Conservation Practice, Physical Effects, the web soil survey, which is very important when you want to start a conservation plan, and the electronic field office technical guide. The next module, TSP programs, helped us a lot in understanding what a TSP was, which stands for Technical Service Provider, and is a person or entity who, certified by NRCS, can help farmers reach their conservation goals. And between the benefits and who could be a TSP, TSP ranges from an individual to an even private agency. They could help the farmer reach certain goals like nutrition management, transition to organic farming, and even help him reassure that his conservation plans are up to NRC standards. In terms of how these modules helped me in my project, well, they actually helped a lot in terms of, with the advanced conservation knowledge, I was quickly able to keep an eye for plants that could affect the chicken farm we're working on, as well as invasive plants that could simply just hinder our conservation planning. And it also really helped me appreciate the conservation plans and the effect that we're going to have on the farm. The TSP program module helped me in having a clear vision of the benefits I could receive of creating conservation plans on my personal and professional career. No matter the path career I choose, I could receive a TSP certificate and also help other farmers achieve their conservation goals. I really hope that these modules help you as much as they helped me.
Yes, now for our next module, we'll be taking a short break in order to get the videos ready, so please stay tuned. We will put a timer showing how much time will take to fix the video, but please stay tuned. Now, before starting our question segment, our question and answer segment, I would just like to thank all of the participants for their videos and for giving us their opinions, and it's very much appreciated. So now while we wait for the questions to come in, I'd like to welcome John Adrian Parrott, Jose Sanchez, Nolo Martinez, and myself as the coaches that will be answering the questions that are coming in. Whenever you're ready, guys. We see, Nolo, that you're very excited.
Always. That was great. Thank you, Sarah. Do we have everybody?
Yeah, we're waiting on Adrian and we are waiting on Indio. Just in case for all our attendees, Jose Sanchez is also known as Indio, lo cual lo llamamos cariñosamente by that name.
Hi everyone.
So you can just tell Adrian.
Yeah, I think we just made Adrian into a panelist. So Adrian, you can actually join. There you go. Hi.
There we go. Perfect.
So happy to see us all together again. While we wait for questions from the crowd, we could actually have an open discussion for a few minutes. So if there's anything that any of you want to mention regarding the modules, our experience with the students, we're all welcome to do so.
Let me start. I actually would like to say that it's one of those things that for many of the ones that are on the call, on the webinar, I wanted to obviously emphasize the message that we had this morning. We had the challenge of COVID and the pandemic, and part of our approach to reach out and to continue this process of developing curriculum as well as bringing people along was that we felt very comfortable in working with a young generation of folks that are very interested in agriculture and very committed, not only because of their studies, but also because they were able to navigate into cultures. So these folks that you saw got a challenge to do a lot of work, but they were very willing to work using this medium, using a platform that was and through technology. They're also working and going to school. So they were multitasking, but the product at the end was quite, rich. And later on, you're going to see some of the projects that actually these folks work on. So that was my take on it, that I think for us was incredibly eye-opening to see how many generations of Hispanics are very interested and committed to agriculture. And that's my perspective.
I have to agree with Juno, and I think they are those participants were working all day, and they participated of the module, and they were tired. They were preoccupied with other things, and yet they give the extra mile. And they were very thorough with their projects and with their participation on the modules. And I have to say that there were a lot of technical information, very technical, very difficult. They studied the information that we gave. They were very committed to do a great project, and I'm very proud of all the participants that were with us in the module.
Yeah, and I feel similarly. It's cliche to say, but I felt like I learned more from them than they did from me. They're just an incredible group, and honestly, it was a pleasure to work with them. Once or twice a week. It was just so wonderful to watch their employment of the tools that we had given them throughout the module, and how they took it way beyond what we kind of thought was possible. So. Yeah.
Well, I'll mimic your sentiments, guys. It was very exciting and very gratifying to watch people so close to my own age. To see them come out of their shells, work with us together, and as Adrian said, learn from them as much as they learned from us. So I really loved the experience of the program. I loved being a coach, and I will continue to love it since the program is ongoing. It is a learning network, and I'm very excited to see what's to come and with the students, and yeah.
I think there was a question. I want to react to some of the questions that relate to this recording and the symposium. Yes, we are going to upload the whole day event, but I also say that as a philosophy for our group, we are always thinking about documenting and keeping the information that we are sharing with everyone available. So the modules that and the curriculum and the exercises, that's going to be available, and it'll be fully bilingual, and folks can actually connect and join and follow any of the different modules that are of interest to them, whether it is leadership, the conservation, or the young professional development and the entrepreneurship. Those are actually subjects that were selected based on the outreach efforts that we started in the Southeast region of the United States and the Caribbean regarding addressing the needs of many of the farmers we were working with. And this is another thing that we're doing, is we are branching into other areas and states of the U.S., and we're mindful that we want to have this universal and not just looking at the Caribbean in terms of the practices of conservation there, but looking at other different types of climates and soils and cultural differences to make sure that it is universal to all groups beyond Hispanic. So that will be something that we will be sharing and publishing and making folks aware so they can link into that type of information and knowledge via technology, this platform.
Yeah, I'd just like to remind everyone that for updates on this program and other ongoing programs for NOLA Consulting, you can visit us at latinofarmersusa.com.